Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Eric, your mindset mentor, where we talk about everything on how to create the life that you deserve. Also, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you're connected to all the wonderful insights that I share. So, today's video is on secure love and what it means and how to attract it. So, let's jump right in. Now, the true meaning of secure love is that you understand the dynamics of a healthy, secure relationship. So there's so many things that you must know. Now, there's three things that I'm going to cover that you need to at least master or geared towards mastery or getting to know. But most importantly, a secure relationship embodies all of the qualities that I mentioned in what I call the triad of secure love. When you master or when you understand these concepts, you are on your way to attract a secure partner because like attracts like. And the only way that you're going to attract a secure partner is if you're secure yourself. Now, secure doesn't mean perfection, it just means that you're secure in yourself to know what your needs are. And, like, in summary, it means that you know what your needs is, what you wants are, and what your expectations are, not your parents, not your ancestors, not your family, not your brother, not your sister. You. But you have to understand these principles in order to manifest a secure partner. So let's go. Let's start with number one. The first one is self love. It is know thyself. If you don't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love someone else? Right? If you don't love yourself, if you don't know what your needs are, what your wants are, how are you going to know what you're going to need in the future partner? Or better yet, if you can't fulfill yourself those needs, you're going to depend on someone else for that. And the reality is that you cannot depend on someone to fulfill all of your needs because there's no such thing as a 100% perfect person. There's going to be things that a secure partner is going to have that they don't, what do you call it? There's things that a secure partner is not going to be able to satisfy for you. Like, they're not going to be your 100% perfection person. So there's going to be things that you're not going to like. And that's totally normal. The idea in that scenario, and you have to ask yourself, is are these things that I can manage? Are these things that are not deal breakers for me? If they aren't, then you're good to go, right? Because there might be some nuance where maybe they leave some dishes in the sink. Is that something that you can live with, right? Or, they might leave towels on the door, or they leave certain doors or cabinets open and that bothers you. But is it like, I'm going to break up with you because you keep leaving the cabinet doors open? Like, think about it. You attract who you are. It is law. Like attracts like. And with self love comes the principles of gratitude, being grateful for the present moment, being grateful for who is in your life now, being grateful for yourself, being grateful for your presence, being grateful for all the things that you have currently. Also, you want to make sure you're checking your assumptions. Do you think that all men and women are evil? Right? Do you go into a dating app not knowing that your assumption is that everyone's a liar? Or that everyone's evil, or that dating is hard, or that relationships are tough? If you assume so, your brain is going to prove that right back at you. And guess what? You're going to be single forever. And this is also called a confirmation bias. Your subconscious brain is a proof producing machine, right? With the RAS, the reticular activating system. That's the more scientific word, but all that means is that it needs to prove to you what you think is right. To think your truth is to think the truth. Whatever truth you think, it is the truth. Your perception is your reality. So you have to check in with yourself. Are these assumptions serving me? Are they serving the reality that I want? If not, then you have to change them. The second one, once you establish the love for yourself, now you are able to attract the tools and resources. Tools and resources are very important. There's certain lingo that you can understand, you need to understand to attract a secure partner. And I'm going to list them now. Most importantly, the nervous system. We as human beings crave love and affection. It is part of our nervous system, our everything. We crave that oxytocin, right? Can we give it to ourselves? Yes, we can. Technically, we can like rub our arms together and hug ourselves. But the reality is, we do crave connection and we crave that bonding with someone else. So, understanding your nervous system, the feel good hormones like oxytocin, it is a beautiful love hormone, which we get by cuddling and hugs and kisses. Communication. Communication is important, but first, before communication, you need to understand yourself, right? So once you understand your wants, your needs, what are your boundaries? Boundaries are just things that help someone else stay closer, right? So you tell them, hey, this crosses the line. So I appreciate if you don't do this, right? It might be something that you just, it's a non negotiable for you. Now, if they can't comply, they're not for you. Stop trying to keep them around even though they break your boundaries. That's something that happens. Emotional maturity, right? You need to be emotionally mature. You need to, again, this goes back to the first step. That's why self love is so important, because the only way you're going to be emotionally mature is if you are aware of your own emotions. What triggers you, what makes you feel wounded, what makes you angry, where is it coming from, and then self-regulate. Because eventually then you can co-regulate. But you need that person that's on your frequency so that you can both co-regulate. And then once you understand this, disagreements are less impactful, right? So it won't be wounded as much because you are in guard of your mind, you're in guard of your emotions, right? So you understand everything. You're in the driver's seat versus you're on autopilot. You have no idea why you're triggered, and then now you're screaming and yada yada, and then it's just, it creates more wounds, it creates more stress, and the result won't be nice. And once you have that, the final piece of the triad is loving others. Loving others, giving, the law of giving and receiving. The more you give, the more you receive, right? Being open to what does somebody else need, because you have perfected yourself in what you need. You're able to see what someone else needs. Can you fulfill that? Is that something that you can do for X amount of time or forever? Do you really like love this person? Right? Are you able to see through the dark times? Because there's gonna be down times. It doesn't mean, it's not gonna be linear, but will you be able to be there? When that person's at 20 out of 100 and being grateful for that person. Because when you start nitpicking things like, oh my God, you do this, it only adds more fire to the negative. And what creates bad turmoil, which creates fights, it creates long term disaster. Something that's very important here is that you're not always going to both be at 100. What I heard from Brene Brown, who is a licensed professional, very well known, she talks about how we're both not going to be at 100. And if I'm at a 20 out of 100, I'm going to tell you that I'm not, because if I tell you I'm not at 100, then we can both be mindful of each other so that we don't wound each other. So making sure that we give each other extra care. And honestly, that starts from self. So something that I do when I'm feeling like low level a bit, it is a cue for me to say, it's time to be extra gentle and kind to yourself. There's nothing wrong with that until you like swerve right back up. So the same thing in a relationship. So again, once you've mastered that, you're able to do that with your partner. You're able to say, hey, I'm at a 20 right now. I'm at a 20 right now. So just want to be mindful, just making sure we're extra careful today. Or we can, maybe there's something you want to talk about. Maybe there's something that, or maybe not. Maybe you just don't want to talk about it. That's okay. You don't have to talk about something at that moment, at that second, at that hour if you don't want to. It doesn't mean that you don't care about the person. It's just that you're being mindful of your feelings and their feelings, because sometimes things will come out a different way when you're at a lower frequency than when you're a higher frequency. So you're just respecting the relationship and you're trying to keep it, grounded and secure. So both partners won't always be at 100. Something you have to understand, that both individuals will not always be at 100. Sometimes you're at 20. Now, if you're at 100, they're at 0. That's your cue to be there. You can be there for them and you can, give them that energy. But if your cup is like low, when both partners are low, that's when you need to communicate that. If the other person doesn't, it's okay, because you took action to communicate that. You're going to notice it. So I want to conclude this video with the triad of how to attract secure love. One being self-love, two being the tools and resources and the gear, and last but not least is loving others. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for more insights on how to create the life that you deserve. And I'll see you on the next video.